place
Hi again.
Crawford is.
We're back.
In there and they find her.
Oh. That's a little axe.
I got a hatchet with a hammer on the back
Little
side.
tomahawk.
I think I'm gonna have another piece of pizza.
Do it.
Because why not?
That is amazing. I've
If
been
I'm gonna-
seeing it
if
on
I'm gonna
commercials for the
wreck
last
my-
like year and a half.
If I'm gonna wreck myself, I might as well wreck myself.
Dude, go
Wreck it.
for it. What the fuck am I
Full
supposed to do?
throttle.
God damn it.
Look at the manhole.
Well, you can't even tell what it is. It's just black. It's just him in a black hole.
They have walkers as guards. I'm just gonna guess.
They're all walkers.
That
Or
like,
they're all walkers now?
yeah, like all of Crawford died.
Because they had no children and no elderly, no wise people, and no young. Ooh. Moral of the story here.
Fuck. Do you think they saw us?
You gotta drink twice now.
Oh.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Well, it should have.
happened here?
It should have
I thought
scared
this place
Clementine
was
a little.
supposed to be
This is
secure.
a scary
Hasn't been scared
situation.
enough.
What always happens, I guess.
Well, I think she has been
The dead
scared enough.
always
It's just that
win.
it doesn't just happen
Man,
from
we are
Lee.
so screwed. The plan hasn't changed. Every time walkers show up, the plan changes. Do you even have any idea how many of them are out there?
No.
Ben, you're
You want to
so
do a head count? Or do you want to get what we need and get the hell out of here?
What other choice do we have?
Okay, that kind of
I think I know which way to head.
dialogue bothers the fuck out of me when they're in that kind of situation and they say, "Do you want to do this or
I
do you
got a
want to do
bad
this?"
feeling
Serious
about
false
this.
dichotomy when one of the choices is obviously wrong, not worrying about it, or like locking yourself down, and the other one, getting in and getting out, is no longer possible. You have to change. You have to change your plan when things arise.
Yeah, walk in the
And
dark.
that
That's a good
continuously
idea.
has been happening. Also, something that I wanted to mention that occurred to me also is
Just
I think it's
keep
really
moving.
interesting the way that this game has addressed sort of a specific theme in each chapter. Like the first chapter was
Here.
dealing with adjusting to a civilization with the dead having risen, and dealing with the choices that come out of that, like the fact when you're dealing with a woman who ends up killing herself.
Yeah.
That kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Because you let her.
In the drugstore, trying
Everybody in.
to adjust to the fact that your past self doesn't matter and him being a murderer doesn't matter necessarily.
Right.
The second episode really addresses danger of other people, as opposed to just the dead, and they're
Yes.
kind of addressing it in the order that it would arise, or at least in the order that you would need to be concerned with it. Like first thing first, you need to be worried about the zombies. Then you need to be worried about other people and trusting them or not. Then you need to be worried in the third episode about like the moral implications of how much a life is worth, and that arises at the end of the first one too, because the entire second one is about like how do you deal with utilitarianism and rationality as opposed to
Looks like they
your
were using
attachment
this
Yes.
and your
kind of
humanity.
command center.
So what's this one about?
Well, we'll know more by the end.
Okay, so now what? Where do we start looking?
I think it's who's valuable in a society.
Who's valuable
do you
and
keep the only people that are able-bodied? Because if it's a society, like, you need to have it continue. I mean, otherwise, what's the point?
Here.
that and how you react to the reemergence of civilization, because there's a resistance toward civilization's reemergence from this group. It's rational in some ways because the civilization that's coming out of this is bad.
And different, well, I wouldn't
Any
necessarily even
idea
say
where we can find a battery?
bad, but it's different than what we know
Maybe at
in
the
our
auto
daily
shop.
life.
There used to be one
So
in
I
the
think getting
alley
rid of the
outside
elderly and the
fire.
young
Yeah,
and
in
sick
this
is
kind
bad.
of situation,
It's
maybe
called
that's what they
hermits, you
needed at
can't
the time,
miss it.
but now the game's teaching you that you didn't because, look, they're all zombies. Like, that obviously didn't
Where
work.
would be the best place to look for medicine?
It reminds me of,
Just
what is that?
makes sense,
Soylent
doesn't
Green?
Yeah. Soylent Green
What
is
about the
evil.
fuel? Where should I start looking? We might need to shoot our way out of here.
I'll
Kenny
go
never
for the
got a
medicine.
hangover. I would
I'll
like to
come
point
with
that
you.
out.
I know what
He's still drunk.
He was
Yeah, he's still
wasted.
drunk.
That's what I said. He's really high
Find us a
functioning.
battery.
He's
I'll
just
go
a
with you.
super
Well, he is a
high-
redneck, I feel like.
Okay, we've
Yeah,
got
he's
He
probably
chooses.
just been-
He
he's probably
chooses
since
when to
he
be
was,
drunk.
like, 12.
He's had like a moonshine, like.
all meet back
Coors
here.
Light just
Yeah,
stored in
just-
his back pocket.
he's
like,
been drinking it
the beer
constantly.
hat.
Oh god.
Clementine. She's right there.
What about me? What can I do?
Nothing.
I need you to stay here with Ben and watch over our command center.
Oh
You're
my
really
God.
gonna leave her with
With
Ben?
Ben?
Okay?
Is that smart?
Who
that
left her
fucking
when
guy.
the zombies?
You're leaving me with Ben?
Ben?
He never followed up on
leaving
that.
him
That
with
Ben ran
You're
away like a
leaving me with
leech
Ben?
and left her.
Oh, okay.
You are in
Before
charge.
you know it.
You're smarter than Ben, you know.
The Georgia state flag.
Work.
A lot of history there. Not that it matters much now, I guess.
It's funny for a history teacher to say.
Well, it is people coming to terms with the fact that their past self doesn't make any difference at all. Which is actually part of the reason why when I was going into, like, higher education, I went into something like physics. I was thinking about going into something like engineering because partially I was just motivated by the fact that that's always useful.
Yeah.
True.
For now.
For a little fine medicine anywhere.
Unless something like this
That would
happens.
be the place to look.
Well,
Even then-
no, engineering is something like mechanical engineering.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Bree said the entrance to the auto shop was in the alleyway.
Yeah,
by
the
fire
liberal
escape.
arts are definitively a sign of a society that has the
It's just
luxury
outside the stairwell.
of
Higher thinking. And
philosophical, complicated, you know, kind of thought.
It's at the tippy top of the Maslow's hierarchy of society.
Yes, exactly.
It's my fault Duck and Katya got killed.
Oh, for
If I
God's
hadn't
sakes, it
screwed up
doesn't
back
matter
at the
now.
motor
Both
inn,
dead.
they'd still be alive.
Oh, he's gonna
How am
kill
I
you,
supposed to
don't
just carry something like that around? I have to tell him.
Will it bring them back?
Okay, go ahead.
Are you
dumbass.
fucking
Are you fucking nuts? Oh, yeah. Oh.
Silence.
Silently.
I clicked.
Yeah, I had that happen to me a couple of times.
This is
Funny.
awkward.
I guess you've got your own problems.
Huh.
Look, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna
Do it yourself.
Bye,
This
Felicia.
isn't my decision.
You just staring him down, just
It's like this.
That's
Big eyes.
another thing that's weird actually that I've noticed, and especially a game like this, a lot of Telltale games, you're the only person who has any agency,
yes.
and your character is always put in the position of being a mediator, and being the one vote to choose a side. That's also the problem with doing this with a group, is that you lose some of the commentary, you lose some of the game's dialogue when you try to give commentary on it.
So much
We're
fun to
taking
play
care of it, Lee.
a
Don't
scary
worry.
game with.
Oh, I'm horrifying. Like, so,
I could get you and Sarah in the same room.
well, I made the boyfriend play like the beginning part of Soma for me, and
You
like,
sure
he
you
would've
two
been
don't
fine
need any help?
playing
We're
it,
taking
but it was
care
me
of
going,
it. Don't worry.
like grabbing him the whole time. I was like, fucking knock it off. You're making this way worse than it is. That's why I'm trying. Like, I took this
really-
class. I was like, cool. I need to desensitize myself and stop being such a puss when it comes to fucking horror stuff because I love like the story behind so much of this, but I can't
Molly,
handle it because my
You out here?
just factor.
That one in particular is the one that really made me want to get the game.
God!
What the shit
Did
happened?
we just die?
No, a zombie just
Leave
fell down
him!
from the roof.
Roof or helicopter?
He's mine.
What? Do you...
Nice to see you.
Smart ass.
I wasn't smart ass. I was genuine.
Molly? Molly!
Excuse me.
What?
I think you got it.
I think you got it.
One more.
It's a transformer.
Battery.
Twist.
Well, I can see where the battery should be, but it's not.
What is this fucking game of batteries?
Seriously. That is a recurring motif.
Power. Charge. Capacitance.
No power.
Oh shit.
No power, no pro. He stands under the car and presses the button and it crushes him. No!
That'd be a good way to go comparatively.
I don't know. Hilda and I have been through a lot together.
Hilda?
That's what I call her. Don't judge.
Please, can I borrow Hilda? I'll take good care of her. She won't get a scratch.
It's like Buffy.
Not a
Mr.
scratch.
Got your
Spikey,
promise
I think.
now. Not a scratch.
That was Star Wars dialogue. I got your promise. Not a scratch.
Wait, what was that? What from where?
When Han lends the Falcon to Lando before he leaves for Endor,
Yes.
he literally says exactly that.
I did it. There's the battery. Finally something goes right.
What are you, chicken? Yeah, I'm afraid of dying when I'm already on the second story.
They just roll over right there and just start doing it. Oh,
Time to repopulate.
Just all
Molly?
of a sudden, instinct kicked in.
I'm gonna put a baby in you.
Come on.
Later. Something I gotta do first.
What?
What's the matter with Fly?
Little help here!
That was genuinely well played.
Eyes glowing.
Doors won't close all the way!
Wait!
I wasn't even slightly over it.
nothing.
What? Oh.
This seems familiar somehow.
That'll hold.
Damn well better.
Wait, you mean they put me back in the room just so I can leave the room?
Ugh.
I have nothing else to do
Why
here.
else would they do that?
I'm sorry.
What?
Having to do
For this?
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna have to do this in a minute. Don't be sorry yet.
I feel like,
Hopefully soon.
I'm aware.
what if we just played
I know.
Amnesia for this instead?
we already played like
Really
5
scared
hours
the
of
shit
this.
out of ourselves.
Let's just
It is a horror
change
class.
to Amnesia and stay overnight.
You'll all be welcome as long as you don't
Everyone
mind
be
sharing
awake
the
until the
couch.
morning, like, oh god, the sun's coming
You
out.
have that?
I have it. I own both it
Can
and
we just
Machine
like
Pigs.
fake mine? I could just like audio record my playing the next chapter at my own time.
If you want
What's it
to.
do?
A while. You can come over and play it later.
Do you want to do that?
What? How did they get in
She
here?
is so happy about this. We have to.
There's part of me that does and part
We
of me that
have
really
to. No,
doesn't.
she has like gotten so excited. We have to.
Wait, that wants to do what?
I could just play the chapter myself and just record the reactions
Play
and come over
Amnesia.
here, and then we can just play something else.
I hate this.
Oh god.
You see?
First person shooter skills. Nicely done.
No, you just killed them all.
I didn't miss.
Nicely done.
Wouldn't it be fun to shoot half things that are like trying to attack you? Though?
Yeah, it would.
Kind of.
I'm a good shot too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Someone brave it.
Thank you.
19. I was.
Someone ate the baby again.
Safe to the
Oh,
Well, I'm still
no.
doing stupid shit like tattoos on my head.
No, not.
Baby
quite.
zombie?
Tattoos in your head are cool.
Yeah, they will be. They'll be cooler because people are getting cooler about them.
Baby zombie.
I
It's gonna
hope
happen.
so. By the time in a few years, like I
There's a
personally.
pair of bloody scissors there.
What is that guy doing in the corner?
He's
Looks
jerking
like he's
off.
He looks like
fapping
he's jerking
or
off.
Okay,
peeing.
she is grabbing at the
Oh,
thing.
that's a good point.
She could be
She's
rubbing
playing.
it.
She's playing DJ Diddles. You know, just
Who's
rocking
the
it out.
crap in the corner? I'm just saying.
I'm too frustrated to understand what to do in this situation. Also, because I've missed a good amount of the dialogue.
Should I
Okay.
wiki this?
Go out the door.
Yeah, tell me what to do. That would be helpful.
Let's wiki this.
Walk through wiki.
Yeah.
It's a sonogram.
Oh, she's doing it again.
Yeah, it's the safe.
Hmm.
It's the
We're
safe
still
in
in
the
season
corner.
4, right?
We're pervs.
Of course we're
What-
still
This is
in
the whole.
Episode 4. Yes, we're still very much in episode 4. We're in the nurse's office.
Oh! There we go. I got it.
Vernon, Christy,
Kind of.
Did it.
Kind
come
of.
look at this.
You got something.
This is day 82 since the outbreak.
Are we really gonna play this?
What a
Yes,
gift.
we're really
You're
gonna
gonna play this, and we're gonna make
We
comments
gotta
the
finish
whole
it.
time.
Yeah, we're not gonna make this hell for you. She's gonna guide you through it.
I'm alright. I played the first one by myself. Although I probably am gonna get lost. Like,
Hello again.
what the fuck am I doing?
Hello! Hello, praise.
Am I talking to this person?
No, you talked to all these people.
Okay, well,
Liz can
I
tell you what to
wasn't,
do.
I'm looking
We're
around.
trying
I
to get
wasn't
in the
paying
safe.
attention because
Okay, we just
which is over here.
Did you
Why
go
the
to
fuck do we
locker?
need to get into the safe?
No, we need to go back to the locker, I think.
Yeah, we need to go back to the locker with the bloody hand on it. WASD.
Hit the
There
S
you go.
button. There you go.
Where's the
Be
button?
imposing,
There we go.
Lee.
Is that the doctor?
That's an amazing
that might be the
shot.
doctor.
Isn't
You know
that
the
the name
locker.
of the doctor on that tape?
Bam!
No,
Too bad
no.
I don't know the combo.
There we go. Yep.
So we have to go find the
Go to
body.
the right.
Go back
Alright.
out through the alley door to where the doctor was killed. Kill and loot it.
There you go.
To the left. To the left. To the left. To the
And then
left.
click on that thing.
Click on the shelf.
Sure.
There he is.
Kill,
Q,
kill,
the
kill,
Q,
kill,
the Q. There you go. Now hit E. Now hit Q again. Hey, buddy, come here. Good job.
Good on.
That was effective. Oh,
And then you got crushed.
Molly.
Good job, Molly.
Why not just take a
And
thing
then
off
search
the shelf?
him. Walk toward him.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you
Or
can't
it
search
was
him.
pointless.
Maybe you
Good.
need to go up.
This
and
whole
go.
game is pointless,
So
by
click
the
on
way.
click on the shelf. Climb the shelf.
Shit, time to go.
Oh my god.
It's
Put it in.
awesome.
Oh, they want him to put it in.
Put it in there. Yeah, Lee.
That's what
Put
she
it in,
said.
baby.
Put it in there, Lee.
I've been. That's what she's setting in my head all night.
Swiss Martian.
I didn't have a choice.
This isn't the time. Got a job to do.
You're right. I'm sorry. Let's get those meds.
See, I'm effective.
Yeah, you are. That was actually a good
We're in
choice.
business.
This stupid bitch.
I'll
with the
take that
beret in
battery
her hair.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like, what are you, 9?
About
You
Orange tank
motherfucker.
top, sweatshirt, stupid idiot.
She lost us
I'm
the
just
battery?
kidding.
This bitch.
She's playing with you.
Now is
I
the
don't-
time for
There you
humor.
go.
I don't want this shit at the moment.
What the hell?
I think that's our
hunchback.
cue to get the hell out of here.
Oh,
Shit! Man,
Sorry. I just got spooked by those bells, and then I heard someone coming.
what the fuck are you doing out here?
Kenny and I still
Space.
can't get the door open to the armory. He sent me out to look for something we can use to bust it open. I found this.
You had that, dumbass.
He just unlocked the door!
Where did you get that?
That
I
dumb
just found
motherfucker.
it. It was stuck in the door handle at the end of the hallway.
That fucking retard. Oh my god.
Ben? You piece of shit.
Such an idiot.
Am I
We need to
supposed to
kill
do
him as
something
soon as
here?
possible.
Fine. Go ahead. Tell
God
him.
damn it, that's not what I meant. I meant shut the
Me
fuck
all
up
along,
and
putting
help.
all of us in danger. Gotcha.
Found a
It was
Telltale
all
Games
me.
community. Can we actually kill Ben?
Ben is as useless as
What
Blair.
are you saying? It was me who made the deal with the bandits at the motor inn, slipping them
So
supplies.
you're a douche and
I
got
thought maybe
everybody
I could
else
keep them
killed
off our
and
backs.
restraining
Got
someone because you're an
discovered.
asshole.
That's when they attacked.
But-
And that's when Duck.
Pointless at this point, though.
Kick his ass later.
Ah, shit!
You can use the
Silence.
Enough.
You can use
Calm
the scroll
down,
wheel.
man.
You little pissant! You're fucking dead! You hear me?
Fucking dead.
My
Drink.
wife and child! You gotta both fucking killed!
I drank to this, but I have the
Get a sight.
control die, right?
Patient. Ooh, the zombies are gonna get cancer now.
I'm not nice when I'm playing these, sorry. Ah!
Fuck!
It's not gonna hold.
What do I get this episode?
Bam! Headshot. Bam! Headshot. Right in the kisser. To the chopper.
At least it starts you off with a good point.
Yeah, it
Back
always...
in my day, you had to start the entire game over
Okay, so that's
again.
an interesting thing about this one is that it starts you off instantly before you die, so there's almost no point in dying. Like,
Continuity of consciousness.
that isn't...
Soma pertains
you.
to all.
We got past this already, I
Fuck
thought.
you.
To all.
Fuck you too!
And
Fuck
I-
all you zombies! Fuck you too!
Fuck him.
Really? Do I have to save him? Fine.
Damn it!
Oh,
Why
well.
don't you shoot him?
Man, I've got you.
Do I?
Drop his ass. Let him get.
Climb
Ben
up.
shish
Come
kebab.
on, you can do it.
No, he can't.
Sacrifice
No control
yourself.
over this.
Now!
Bullshit.
Come on,
You're not
Ben.
gonna be brave
Come
now, you
on.
little bitch.
Let go, damn it! Get Clem and the others out of here!
Now you want to save everyone? No. Kenny's like, bro.
Maybe let him go.
Come on, Lee.
Bro,
Let's go.
he's a douche. Let him go.
Lee, we both know.
That I'm a douche.
And I'm a big non-helper.
Let me go.
for this
Let him
one.
go!
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. No, I don't mean to. Alright, you're all welcome.
Eat his face off. Ooh.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yes.
That's a legitimately good narrative arc.
Good. I don't even feel bad about that at all. That makes me feel vindicated for the last whole 4 episodes where that guy sucks.
3.
3 episodes. Okay, enter in season 2.
I
Well,
thought
actually, he
letting him
sucked
up,
in the
but
first one
no.
too because he wasn't even there.
He was an asshole.
Yeah.
He almost got her killed. And she's
Oh, he's
smarter
zombie
than
now.
him.
Hey. Back already?
We got you medicine.
I'm so happy I dropped him off the side of that
I feel
building.
like I could use some. Where's Ben?
Didn't make it.
Hey, I wanted to thank you for all you've done for us.
Save your platitudes for someone who's buying.
Oh, shit.
What?
Nice word choice.
You don't think by now I got you figured? You don't strike me as someone who has a lot of consideration.
Oh, because you know, during the
Look
zombie
at what you
apocalypse,
did to
that's
get me to
totally an
come
option
here with
right
you in
now.
the first place. You expect me to believe you give a shit that it wound up costing Bree her life?
Now, just hold on a damn minute. Listen.
No, you listen. You got some good people here, and they look to you as their leader. Well,
Do
I'm
they?
here to tell you, the kind of leader you are, they're not gonna make it much longer.
Well,
You're
fuck
kidding
off.
yourself if you think putting them all on a boat is gonna solve anything. Now, you may not care about all of those people, but I know you care.
It's good to
about
know
them
because
also,
you know got them all killed
which is
too.
why
Well, if
I'm
you have
gonna make you
Ratman
an
as a
offer.
friend, you could live in the sewers
What
and
kind
on
of
a
an
boat.
offer?
Really, I'm gonna
I'll
have to
take
make
her
this
off your
decision.
hands.
But should the rat
Take her
make it
back
onto the
with
ark?
me to my people. We're well supplied, well hidden, and a lot of us have had kids of our own. And now Crawford's fallen, we got nothing left to fear from them.
I have to
She'll
make
be
this
safe
decision.
with us. Safer than
Yes.
she will be if she
I need to
stays
think
with
about
you,
this.
I promise you. That's what
Passing
you want
the
for,
buck.
isn't it? To be safe?
You're coming at me with a lot here, Vernon. Need to think it over.
He's
I
gonna
don't
use
think
Chose
so,
to let that
but
boy die back in Crawford. I
why?
gotta wonder about the morality of the kind of man who would do something like
Oh,
that.
fuck off.
I got to wonder what kind of parent you'd be.
Not much for goodbyes.
But that'll
Tell
do,
the others
big.
for me?
That'll do.
Sure.
That's
That's
the
the
best
worst
I've ever
goodbye.
heard.
I love that movie.
You too.
And he stole it from a movie.
I'd like to, Clem, but I don't think
I'm
we'll
gonna be
have
ambiguous
time.
about that.
We
Like,
really
try to
shouldn't
help
stay
her.
here any longer. It's not safe.
Great, I made her cry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Clementine.
Oh, you're so
I'm
nice.
so sorry.
She's 8.
Kids are gross though.
Yeah,
I don't
kids
feel
are
bad
gross.
about making them cry. I'm like, ugh.
Oh, now you're
Well,
leaking
she's gonna have to get
water
the
and
fuck
tears
over it.
and salt. And,
Salt. Ugh.
Salt.
Making noise. Ugh. Gross.
you could just shut up. That'd be
We
great.
did just leave her in there.
If
and
you're gonna cry, at least cry quietly.
Yeah. Cover your face with a pillow or something. God.
Just hold the pillow on the face and just leave it there until the child just kind of.
Stop
At the end of the
breathing.
episode?
No.
No,
It's
probably
not.
not. We wouldn't get that lucky.
Well. Oh wait, this is the cutscene.
God.
Is he dreaming again?
I kind of think so, because of the fact that we haven't walked around.
Yeah, we didn't search the entire house first.
Yeah, it didn't make us do that.
Ah! Are you okay?
It's your.
Haley,
Oh shit!
Haley.
Sorry,
Haley.
sorry.
Blam! Headshot.
Give you a stupid amount of time to do that.
Sorry.
Stupidly long amount
That's
of time.
okay. That's why it'd be fun to have you around for a hurricane.
Oh my god, I'm such a weenie.
I would totally do that in real life too. I'd be like, look, I was bit. Shoot me in the
Oh
head.
my god.
Clementine's gone.
There's no chance she just wandered off on her own?
In the zombie
How the
apocalypse?
fuck do you not
Then who the hell
know?
took her?
Well, silence
You're
is just
not
as good.
thinking of going after her alone, are you?
Yes.
Yes.
All
He's
responsible for
bitten.
Clementine. And in your condition,
Oh, he's
you may
already
not
been
make it to it in
bitten.
time.
Yeah.
I always knew Kenny would stick with us.
You've always been there for me, Lee. Always had my back.
I
when it
know,
mattered.
right? Fucker,
When I
we
tried
have.
to
Friend
shoot
would
my
I be
kid.
if I wasn't there
When
for
did
you?
you,
eh?
like-
My wife died.
Bitten or not, I'm with you to the end. You can count on me.
So, is this the end?
I think
hope
so.
so.
Liz?
I think yes.
Where the hell are they?
Looks like they got out of here in a hurry.
Vernon, get out here! There doesn't have to be any
that'll
trouble
work.
here. All I want is the girl. Give her back and nobody needs to get hurt.
Those pants are really tight.
You have like zero control.
I know, it's.
Clementine,
Where did she get another
are
fucking
you all
walkie-talkie?
right?
Oh, it's the guy
Where
who
are
took
you?
her.
Vernon, you son of a bitch.
Hello, Lee.
Called it.
Where have you taken her?
This isn't Vernon. And you should really watch your tone.
You confused us with the yellow text.
Fine. But if I were you, I'd choose my next words very carefully.
Great.
Fuck off. You're
It's
fucking
still-
dead.
I would say that, but you know, the kids in the line. Should have said nothing.
Just in time. We have about 20 seconds of footage left.
Perfect.
So that's the end.
Woo! 8 hours.
Yay!
I've never played a video game that just takes this fucking long.
I know, right? I've gotten further in Fallout.
I've gotten further in World of Warcraft on raid nights.
like WoW.
Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
exactly.
I actually
One
love me some
episode
WoW.
of this is most of Raid Night.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to finally end the multi-hour
The
recording
10
of the
hours
audio.
so sad.
Here.
Wonderful.
Let's see how long it ended up being. 6:58. Want to let it just go till 7?
Yes, I feel like we need an even 7 hours for my OCD to be happy.
All right, an even 7 hours. So we're at 6:58.
We have a minute and 10 seconds to talk about.
Talk
Ready?
about
Important topic.
You're so funny.
I cracked myself up.
Dave,
Oh,
this last bit is going to be the most interesting on the entire tape.
Yeah, it's gonna be highly
Are you ready? You
offensively
better stop it.
awesome.
Exactly.
Okay,
Woo!
2.
Yeah.
1. Alrighty, so this is Liz, and I am going to be doing my analysis of episode 4 of Walking Dead Season 1. First off, let me start by saying I hated this game. I thought it was horrible. The only fun aspect of it was playing with a group of people that made it more fun. So, to start my analysis, I want to talk about the toning of the church bell in the opening scene of Chapter 4, Episode 4. And just how I think that the fact that it's a church bell kind of points to the fact that in a post-apocalyptic society, in an ironic way, religion doesn't necessarily exist anymore. I mean, you might still find people that are clinging to remnants of it, but in the sense that religion is a major thing like it is in our life now, some people's lives, I think that just proves to point out that maybe it won't in the future once we're taken back to this tribalistic society and culture of trying to survive and roaming in small bands. Religion doesn't seem to be much of a player anymore. The next comment I would like to make is about Chuck. Chuck seems to be this gentleman who we picked up in Chapter 3 Episode 3, Episode 3 of the show on the train, where he gives us some great advice of how to keep Clementine alive. We follow it. Just seems like a good guy who kind of knows how to survive. And yet, here he is by himself, and then he joins our group, and then sacrifices himself for our group. So that, both story-wise and just in kind of real-life context to me, just seemed weird. Where here he was, surviving by himself, doing just fine, and then as soon as he joined with more people, he very quickly is dead. Well, we find out a little bit later that he's dead, but basically he sacrifices himself to let the rest of us run away. And so, I don't know, I just feel like maybe he was giving up in the sense where he knew that, he was getting old and he could maybe not keep surviving on his own, and so he chose to sacrifice himself for a group of younger, more virile people who happen to have a child and possible ways of repopulation, if you will. My next major comment would have to probably be on the kid that we find in the attic, where we find Kenny, and we find this poor kid who basically lost all hope, no parents. He was up there surviving, probably died of natural causes, in the sense of dehydration and no food. So he died, and then the disease still took him, and there he was, chained up by himself, hopefully mindless, so at least he didn't know, quite what was going on, which I think that in comparison to the scene in episode 3 with Kenny's son, where Doug's still alive, where Duck is still alive, I think that in comparison, it didn't quite play so well with the story, because the fact that Kenny had such a problem with it, it kind of bugged me, just because he, the kid was a zombie now, whereas Duck, his child, wasn't. So I feel like he shouldn't have had that much harder of a time to, do the right thing in this sense, where, you know, I understand if it's your kid and it's a little bit harder to, you know, kill your own child while he's seemingly still alive. Well, this is something, it's a pure thing that's just suffering, and, you know, no one else is around. If these people potentially left him, then, you know, he's going to live like this forever. And I find that just, you know, they should have done the right thing. So it kind of struck a wrong chord in me that Kenny was not able to do that. So we took it in our own hands, and Lee did it, bashed his head in, obviously, so we didn't make noise with the gun and whatnot. My next comment is going to be the walkers as the scarecrows that they find, and the comment that it's inhumane to do such a thing of using these scarecrow zombies as a defense, where you really, this again brings me back to the Soma of like what is human, just because they're still technically in human bodies, but here they are, this mindless zombie run by some disease, something or other, where all they have is this like innate drive to eat and consume and destroy. They're not necessarily, you know, you can't consider them as people anymore because of this. And so the comment, I forget who makes it. I don't want to say it's Kenny. I forget who makes the comment, but basically, who makes the comment that, oh, it's inhumane to do this, and how could somebody possibly imagine, oh my God, doing this to these zombies? Ugh, it's horrible. Well, they're out there trying to eat them, and so if you're in a survivalistic tribal culture where your main goal, your Maslow's hierarchy of needs has been denigrated to the very bottom, where you're basically just trying to survive, I feel like the comment even brought up in the game is just stupid, to be completely honest. I feel like all of these things that are moral decisions are just thrown out the window, and this is another great example of why is this even brought up? It's just stupid to me. The next area that I want to comment on is when they go into the sewage area underneath. Lee escapes down to the sewer, and to me, as someone who is easily scared, I thought this part could have been much scarier, just in the sense that it didn't seem dark and dank and scary enough to me, even though I wasn't playing it, but I still had a couple jump scares. And also I'm curious as to, like, environment-wise, why are they even down there? Like, how did the zombies get into the sewers at all? I feel like if it was such a hassle for Lee to get down there, how did all these mindless zombies get down into the sewers? That just made me question that. And then the finding of Chuck's body, finally, in the sewer, that makes sense to me that his body is down there, but it doesn't make sense to me as to, I don't know, why his body is there, if that makes any sense. I could see him trying to hide down there, but in the situation where he was in, I feel like he probably wouldn't have made it that far anyways. So that was just kind of odd, but also sad, because then we find out that Chuck is officially dead and has officially, technically, all the way sacrificed himself for the group that he had just met, which plays back to my previous comment. Let's see, next. So once we make it through the little puzzle in the sewer, and we find the survival group, I think that their comment on Crawford is one that is very interesting to our society now, just in general, where here's this town trying to create the perfect society by not having any sick, no young, no elderly, just fit people, but essentially they completely cut themselves off from any sort of, you know, moving into the future at all, because they have no young, they have no wise elderly, they have no one, you know, with knowledge of previous things to pass on. They've essentially time warped themselves into this time capsule where they can't go farther and they can't go back, because they've destroyed all, well, either destroyed or kicked out or killed or whatnot, any remnants of the past that could pass on, you know, future generations that won't exist, their previous culture from behind the apocalypse. So even if they had survived, which we find out obviously later that they don't, even if they had survived this zombie apocalypse, they basically restart their society from the point of the apocalypse, which seems very just sad to me because they've lost so much that we as a culture had before. It also kind of shows that people who think that the only people of value in society are those who are able-bodied and, you know, able-minded, I guess you could say, are wrong in that sense. The game makes a strong commentary on that, and I think the fact that all of Crawford gets turned into zombies is very, very strong comment on the fact that you need everyone in society, whether, you know, they play a smaller part or a greater part or whatnot. This isn't Sparta. You can't just breed a genetically superior society. It kind of brings me back to the idea of Nazi Germany, you know, where they wanted to purify the race and whatnot and just have this thing. And it kind of gave me a inkling of that. Let's see. Going into the next part where we find Kenny drunk in the house after taking Vernon with us, the doctor, where we find Kenny drunk in the house, wasted off his ass because he's found liquor. I could totally relate to this completely because now he has lost his wife, his son. There's no boats in the harbor that they found. They're essentially all of his hopes that he was holding on to in this post-apocalyptic society are now gone. And so I could totally, you know, it's not necessarily going to the extreme of suicide, but he definitely is coping with his hurt and anger and feelings in a way that I could totally understand and relate. Because I feel like if I was in this situation, I'd be doing the damn same thing. So, next commentary after this. So when we can't find Clementine after we get to the house, super annoying, just long, drawn out search of the house. I just hated this part of the game. This is like just a great example to me of why the gameplay itself sucked, and it took us 7 hours to get through 2 episodes of a game that should not have taken that long, especially with as little action and whatnot as there was. So this I just thought was a great example of why this game was horrible to play. However, when we do find Clementine in the shed, if that part had been more streamlined and we had found her quicker, it would have been a little bit more exciting, I think. It also instantly somehow sobered up Kenny, which was interesting, but also gave him hopefulness again. So I think that is a commentary the game is making, that, you know, even the smallest little thing can give a person hope. And it's all different based on who you are and what you've experienced. Just this one little finding of, you know, a boat that they find out won't even run yet. They still have to go find what they need to run it, has restored his energy and, I don't want to say faith in humanity, but his drive to live and survive again. And so I think that we can take that as maybe not a silver lining, but as a good point that, you know, hope comes from many places that you might not expect it to. Next comment I want to make is on Crawford and how they are all zombies when they find them. And it plays back to my previous comment of, you know, you can try and create this perfect society, and it just really goes to show that there's no such thing as a perfect society. Something's going to happen always. There's too much variation in humanity, and the whole chaos theory of, you know, this little tiny thing and butterfly effect and whatnot. You know, we find out through the tapes here a little bit later that this one woman who didn't want to give up her child stabs the doctor, who we all know is infected already, as everyone is, and this basically causes the downfall of this perfect society. So by them trying to control it and telling her she can't have the baby, they essentially cause their own destruction, which I just find that completely ironic and hilarious that they tried to control so much, and then because of this control, I mean, you can't control everything. There's just absolutely no way. Because of them trying to control it, they destroyed themselves. So I find that both funny and sad in a way, just because, you know, it's just all bad. There's a comment that Molly makes when they find Crawford all dead and all zombies, she makes a comment, the dead always win. And I think that is a great, great, great commentary on life in general. Whether she means the zombies in this case or just death as a general concept, death always wins. That's the one thing we all share. It's an all equalizer among everyone, is that eventually we're all going to die. And her comment of this is just a great point and a good reminder that even if you're not turning into a zombie after you die, you're still going to die no matter what, you know? And so I think it's just one of those things that, you know, people forget a lot of times, like, you know, the dead always win. Death will always win. That's the one final step we all take, you know, alone but together. So, next comment, major one that I really want to point out just because I think it definitely makes a comment on society now, is how once they're in the garage, Molly and Lee, and they're looking for the battery for the boat, we find out just really how dependent on technology we are as humans. And I think the way that the game does it makes a great point to show us in our daily life how, you know, if something like this happened, we would be completely screwed without any sort of technology. You know, all of our computers, all of our phones, any other way of our communication, our travel system. I mean, everything would just be gone. And 99.9% of us, we don't know how to garden. We don't know how to send, you know, smoke signals, any of that stuff. We're so dependent on technology that I think this game makes a great juxtaposition of, you know, you look at Molly and here she is, she's surviving. She seems to be doing just fine on her own. And she doesn't really use any technology. She has this ice pick thing that she uses. She's very sporty. She's athletic. She's physically fit. And then you have all this group with Lee who are just like not, you know, they're not doing so great. Here they need a battery to do this and that and da-da-da-da-da, and they're hiding in a house. And here Molly can just go running around the top of buildings, and she seems to be doing just fine. And so I think that's a great commentary, a great point that the game makes on maybe we've lost touch with what it really means to be able to survive as human because we've outgrown the need to, you know, really know any of those basic skills anymore. So that kind of scares me in the sense of that. For a couple examples of that are just the train technology they use to get moving, which ironically enough brings a whole horde of zombies after them. The walkie-talkie, which while it may seem like a tool, it also is what gets Clementine captured because they're able to find her, the gentleman that talks to him at the end of episode 4. Also, when Lee actually figures out that there's a battery in the car and they drop the car, and gunshots in general and all of that, all of this technology, all this loud, you know, unnatural noise, it's what attracts the zombies. And I just find that ironic that that's what they think they need to survive, and here it is what's helping to kill them. Where, again, as Molly, you know, she uses tools, actual tools, physical tools, not so much technology in the sense of Lee's group, I guess you could say. My next comment I'd like to make is on the tapes that they find, that they watch. So the first tape shows that a woman has been found pregnant by the doctor and is forced with this, you have to give up the baby or leave Crawford decision. And the doctor repeatedly says, I don't make the rules, but you know the rules. I know the rules. We have to follow the rules. And this commentary, just I think in general, is great commentary on, you know, question everything. Because blindly following rules is not the way to either improve your situation or, you know, anything. It just basically makes you a pawn of whatever system is making these rules, whether it be people of your own society or, you know, dictatorship rulers who are, you know, imposing their own ideologies on people. Just question everything. Absolutely question everything. And so when we see her actually stab the doctor in tape 2 and basically cause the destruction of Crawford, I think, again, that's a great commentary on why you don't follow all the rules, because if you're too controlling, something bad's going to happen. So I also looked up, because there was that third tape, and in our gameplay we did not play the third tape. But I looked up on Wiki just because I was curious what was on it, and it tells us that Molly was once a part of Crawford, which I'm interested in that play, so I'm going to investigate further on my own and see what exactly that plays into, because I wonder if either she knew the pregnant woman in the video, or was perhaps her, and she actually was that woman and has now cut her hair. I don't know. So that was interesting to me. Going into the last couple of chapters of this game, we really discover how big of an idiot Ben is. First off, in the beginning when he leaves Clementine, total douche move. Total douche move. And it's not the first time that he's proved that he is, you know, basically useless to this group, except as a body, you know, and even then that's, in this situation, not useful in any way, shape, or form. So, him taking the hatchet and basically letting all the zombies into the school, causing Vernon's friend to be killed, Bree. That, and then him confessing to making all the trades with the Raiders in episode 2. I already didn't like Ben because he just seems like a big waste of person, just walking around, not helping anyone. He just keeps messing up over and over and over again. And somehow these people who, you know, are trying to survive are taking the moral high ground and not disposing of someone that they know is causing them harm on multiple occasions. And I just, on that note, I find it funny that once they Chuck sacrifices himself in the beginning, no one seems to question that Ben just ran and left Clementine. Like, that is never brought up in the rest of the entire episode. And I just find that very, I mean, if I was Lee and I am actually looking out for Clementine, I would be pissed. Just about as pissed as Kenny is when he finds out that Ben is the one who made the trade with the Marauders and basically got his son and wife killed. And that, I think, was a flaw in the game story narrative. Just because, how could you not notice that? I mean, this guy is just a total retard. So, I wonder when he confesses if it's just his try of absolution, or his guilt is finally winning out over him, or what. But I think it also, the point the game is pointing out, the level of arbitrariness that life and death seems to have sometimes, where here you have Ben, who survives till the end of this episode, who is basically a bumbling idiot who has done nothing but cause problems for this entire group. How he somehow survives, but then some of their key players and people that have been surviving until they meet Ben are wiped out because of him. And yet, you know, it's just seems very arbitrary to me. So in our final choice with Ben, we let him die. And I completely agreed. If there was a way I could have shoved him down into zombies earlier than that, I would have, because he was just a waste of space. But I think his final act of telling Lee to let me go, it doesn't quite let you know if he is doing it out of guilt, like an easy out, if he's taking the coward's way out, or if he's actually being brave of, you know, let me go to save yourselves. I wish the game had made it a little bit more clear, because then I would have had a either better or worse impression of Ben. So maybe leaving it open like that, I don't know. Maybe they did it on purpose. Maybe it's just a mishap. I don't know. But yeah. Also, at that point, when they find that the zombie's tied to the bell, and that seems to be what makes the bells ring, I found that funny. I'm not exactly sure why, because you can't tell. It's not sure in the first bell tolling at the beginning of the episode whether it's the person on the roof who causes it, or who turns out to be Molly, or if there's actually a zombie tied to that one as well, just like at the end of this one, where that's the zombie that happens to grab Ben. But I just find that funny that that's just another level of arbitrariness, where someone has taken the time to tie the zombies to these bells, which I guess it could be an alarm system. So I like that in that sense where, you know, they are not awake and not moving unless something or someone's around. So that makes sense, I guess. Next major point, when Vernon offers to take Clementine, that really bugged me just because here's this random person we've just met who, yes, he's a doctor, so he has some skill in that sense, but he offers to take Clementine, who obviously Lee has been saving time after time and is looking out for, and tries to tell him that he's not a fit person because he has taken the ground of, you know, making that hard choice. Lee has over and over again. How Vernon doesn't even know about the previous actions, only Ben. But the fact that he makes a broad statement that Lee doesn't put other people in front of him, I just didn't like that at all because he does absolutely no room to say that. He doesn't know, you know, how hard it is to make those hard choices. And so I find that from Vernon is very just annoying on a whole end. The fact that Vernon, a doctor who, should be saving people, doesn't quite understand that survival is more important than supposed morality at this point. I don't know. He seems to be implying that Lee is not going to make it so that she can survive, yet here Lee is the one making the hard decisions that are keeping them alive. So I think Vernon actually would probably be the one that's going to die sooner if the story plays out that way. I like how later Clementine also says that a good person thinks of others before themselves, and how her mom told her that, because that's exactly what Lee has been doing. None of the acts he's done have been selfish in nature. They've been to help the group or, you know, help Clementine specifically. And so it really just is, it kind of negates everything that Vernon just said to him about being, you know, a selfish person, where Vernon doesn't actually know Lee the way Clementine does. And so it just shows a greater bond between them as well. And that Vernon doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. So my last final comment on the final actions of this episode is when Clementine is gone, when Lee wakes up, and he goes out to look for her and finds the zombie and is bit. We chose to make him be honest, so he told the people that he was going, you know, that he was bit and that he would have gone and found Clementine by himself. Yet the group, because he was honest, decided to stick together and go help him find Clementine, which I think that final camaraderie of everyone says more about human nature than all this half-assed morality and sacrifice and this and that and what's wrong and what's not. Whereas, you know, this camaraderie of being able to stay with people that, you know, need you, that's the basis of humanity. Of these people are putting, you know, Clementine and Lee, despite him just being bit, they're putting their needs above their own, in the sense that this could be fatal mission at any time. So I think Omid even makes that comment of, oh, more dangerous than what? Than life as it is now anyways. So that final act of companionship and friendship and everyone still being willing to help Lee find Clementine, I think that speaks more to humanity's true traits than any of this other bullshit religion, morality that people seem to still be holding on to. So those are my final comments. Again, I'm going to end this by saying horrible game, absolutely horrible. The only fun part was playing it with people that made it fun. But I would not ever choose to play this game again on my own. But otherwise, it was great. Okay, signing off. Bye.